Hello and welcome to Hikima Council's Makala podcast. Makala means branches ka Sesotho, and on this podcast, we hope to journey with you hand in hand like the branches of a tree. My name is Amanda Masondo and I'm your host. We hope this podcast finds a way to impact, educate, and inspire your next. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Buzzsprout. Basically everywhere where you find your podcast fix every first and last Friday of every month. Hello and welcome to the third season of Hikima Council's Makala podcast. Hello everybody. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome. Happy New Year, guys. Somebody said that we can't say Happy New Year after the 7th, but that's not a thing that we're going to do on this channel. Welcome everybody. Welcome home. Like and subscribe. My editor is going to edit this out because she doesn't want me to say it, but I'm going to say it today because it is what it is. You know what I mean? I am your host, Amanda Masondo. Welcome, everybody. As per usual, we're bringing you extraordinary human beings who are doing amazing work in their various spheres. Trailblazers. That's the word. Trailblazers. Today's guest, guys, I want you to know that, we focus a lot on education, tech, and other things, but this one, it's a doctor. Because this is who I am, PhD, only this year, only PhD. My guest today is Dr. Gugu Gamedze. She's an obstetrician, gynecologist. Hello, Doc.
Hello, Amanda. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I'm so excited that you're here, finally.
I'm excited.
It took us a while, but we're here, 2025.
2025.
100%.
We are here.
Let's start from the very beginning. Where were we born and raised, and how did we get into the medical field?
I was born, bred, raised in Swaziland, in a small village called Makala, which is in Hlatikula, the very southern part of the country. It was more of a missionary area.
Okay.
Roman Catholic was very dominant, and it has a very big hospital in the region. My plight was most of the doctors did not speak the native language and they were males. It's a very conservative community. So that's what pushed me in that direction.
Okay. So from very early on, you knew doctor is what you're doing.
I would raise my hand in class and say, I'll be a doctor.
But so I'm sure you were to teach us annoyance, but okay. I mean, very nice, but okay.
It was foreign because we did not know what it takes to be a doctor. Nurses were the most popular people. So I was also like prophesying on something that I don't know what it was, but I knew I wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah. So would you say that the environment that you were born into influenced your career choice?
Greatly. A lot.
My goodness. Okay. So where did we go to school and how did that journey begin?
So I go to school it was a Roman Catholic school. And I joined the Red Cross.
Okay.
So with the Red Cross, we were helping students who were injured whilst they were playing. And that really enlightened my career. I felt like the doctor of the school. I was junior at that time, but I grew in that direction. And then when I got to varsity, we do not have medicine in Swaziland. So I had to do a BSc just as to have something to fall back on should life change. And that was when my grandmother said, no, you should have been just a nurse.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand. Yeah, it's very long. So, but step by step, here we are today.
So are you saying that you needed a backup after medicine? You still need a backup?
Before medicine, I did a 5-year degree, a BSc in Swaziland, and then I came over to study UKZN. That's when I did the medicine.
Yeah, okay. You've touched on some of them, but talk us through some of the challenges that you faced. Like, obviously, you're in an area where doctors are they're not the thing, right? You're doing something that your family is just like, Sisi, you could be working already and bringing in money in this household. So talk us through some of the challenges on your journey.
So the first challenge was family structure. Like all good African children, you grow up raised by grandparents.
Yeah.
So you can see where the family comes from and you know where you wish to be. So working early is an added advantage. but I had to push through that. Fortunately, in Swaziland, we had bursaries which were offered by the state or the kingdom. So that helped to go through the first degree. And then leaving home to be in UKZN, that was the biggest challenge. Number one, you are a girl child. You are living to an unknown place. Resources are still as limited. But I think if it was meant to be, it shall be.
Okay. And can you maybe pinpoint some of the lessons that you think these were I don't want to say career yet because your career then changes into other things later on, but things that really made you who you are. Some of the lessons that you think, if I did not learn this one, I would not be the girl that I am.
Number one, your background. You cannot look down upon your background. It shapes who you are. Number two, the words that are said to you. I've got two people that influenced me, both positive words and negative words. The first was my grandmother used to say, school is mom and dad. If you drop off school, you'll be double orphaned. So physically, I was orphaned. I couldn't be orphaned the second time. So I had to sit at school. And then you hear words like, it's going nowhere like any other person. So I had to prove that, listen here, I am going somewhere. You may not see today where I'm going to, but I am going somewhere. And then the last bit, which I feel that's a personal determination. We all live in the body. The body speaks, the body demands, the body will tell you that it wants something familiar. You must look like all of them. You must do like all of them. That is when it calls you to decide to be different. In order. So I had to lose very precious friends because I did not choose what they want to do or how they want us to flock. So those are the few pearls that I picked up. You cannot be what other people want you to be. And you cannot be what you do not work towards.
Yeah. Not what you do not work towards.
Yes.
2025, that.
Yes.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So then now you're a doctor. Why gynecology?
Oh, that is very close to my heart.
Yeah.
So to start off with, we are females. Most of the colleagues who are managing female health are males. From the background where I come from, it takes the familiarity. You could not dress up anyhow. And then when you get into the consulting room, you're supposed to change into your skin. That is very uncomfortable. Secondly, I feel as a sister, I identify. If you are having a skin breakout, I understand, I've been there. If periods are painful, I understand, I've been there. If you cannot have children, I understand. So there's a lot that I do relate with. And then thirdly, language. I may not speak the same vernacular language, but the fact that we women, it's a common language. So it makes it easier.
Okay.
I love women.
Why wouldn't you beg us like kanjani? But that's amazing. Okay. And then did you have to work? So did you work through specific hospitals first before you opened your own doctor's rooms, or how did that process work for you?
Okay. It was natural selection, scientists would put it. I had no intent of being in private. I have always wanted to work in the state and serve the most desperate of them all, because that's where help is needed. So during the time of training, we rotate through different hospitals. So if you are registered with VETS as your training university, you'll go through Baragwanath, Coronation, Joburg Gen, and then for some community outreaches.
Okay.
So it happened that when I finished my exams, I found myself unemployed. Government did not have funded posts. So the option was to stay at home. So I did stay at home. I was very lucky. I had colleagues who would call me to go and assist. You are already a specialist. You have no
Okay.
job.
Oh,
Until a colleague was emigrating. So he said, here's a practice. If you can just come and work in the meantime, whilst I decide what I do to my patients. That's how I got into private.
there's no way. So what government doesn't have funding for, but you're done. So it's just shouldn't it be a placement situation? Why are the funds not available?
I just want to say, for me, it worked out as destiny. I cannot venture into the nitty-gritties of what then I did not understand. But I think today, where we are standing, we are back into the same situation. We've got colleagues who are sitting at home, they are unemployed. So I think we are going through difficult times. But yeah,
Yeah, but we push through, and destiny takes over, and it wins.
amen.
Okay, so your own practice now, but that's a different ball game altogether. Now you're venturing into medical entrepreneurship, right? Talk us through that journey, and what are some of the things that you feel, first of all, that you had to learn from scratch? Because you know all the things medicine-wise, but now it's running a business. What are some of the things that you think you struggled with, but you thought could have been a little bit easier if had you known better, and some other things that you thought actually this wasn't so bad?
I think when you use the word entrepreneurship, in retrospect, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But you think, okay, at least I'll be able to put bread on the table and I'll still serve a community of women. Medicine doesn't teach business, and business doesn't find you in medicine. So it's always a chase. You learn things in retrospect. So that was the difficult part for me, to build a business. And some of the things you discover them 2 years down the line, that actually this is a business. It needs to be registered for this and that. For example, taxes, the taxes that go into your business. You learn that. But I must say, I am very blessed. Like I said, if it was meant to be, it shall be. I met a very influential person who was helping me with tax whilst I was still a state employee. So when I sat down with him together with my financial advisor, then I said, this is what I think is the way to go, looking at the current situation. And he was like, go for it. I was like, yeah, a white man is saying go for it.
Yeah.
He's really looking for my fall. He wants me to kiss the ground.
Yeah.
And with that, we came up with the structure. This is how it should function. This is what you should have in place. This is the category of South African businesses that such a business fits in. Those are the requirements. And from there, we started moving. So I would say starting well is what helped. And then opening yourself up to learn new things. You learn as you grow, and you grow when you learn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Would you say, based on the kind of network that you were able to establish, even back from when you were just a training doctor, do you think mentorship and networking are some of the things that are really key to anyone that wants to elevate themselves in one way or another?
Yes, regardless of your personality. I'm a very closed person, but networking is very important. And through that, you see, you're doing that
Because
because
are you okay?
you think
Shy?
you think that's not. So I have learned.
Okay.
That's why now you know the person that you know now. I have learned, even with my own patients, when they come in, I always want to get a little bit of who you are, what do you do?
Yes.
And I tap into the services that they offer, and that grows. So yes,
Okay.
you talk to people.
Talk to
You
people.
build relationships. Yes.
And even just for things that you need, like tips on, like you said, the doctor that you asked for insights when you first started the practice, the guidance that they gave you, stuff like that. Do you think that there is enough of that happening where people are peer to peer offering each other advices and guidances? Is there enough of that? Or do you think a little bit more needs to be done?
I think a little bit more, Manda, needs to be done from a perspective of, maybe I say, competition. The day you realize that if you have competition, you grow and get better, it's the day you will lend a hand to the person who's growing. And secondly, if you do not have competition, you yourself, you'll never discover how much you can grow. So it's important.
Yeah.
It's important to mentor other people. And what I have learned is that the people that are coming behind us, they have more insight into business compared to us who just had the medical age. We are just doctors running with the stethoscope. They are into business way before they start medicine. Others are in very influential positions when it comes to association and business opportunities. They run franchises.
Yeah.
We are still sitting looking at the stethoscope.
Yeah.
So, yes, we need to do a lot in that direction.
Sure. Okay. Do you think that there are some similarities or things or nuggets that that you managed to pick up from your medical profession into entrepreneurship, or were two different worlds that you needed to merge together, or there were things that you felt like, oh, this one, at least from a medical point of view, I can do it also here.
I feel everything is intertwined. If it is part of life, it's definitely intertwined. Let me make an example. Medicine drills more on integrity. You can't be in business without integrity. Medicine teaches you hard work. We work sometimes over 48 hours with no sleep. When you are driving business, you need to be somebody who is not so much into laziness and sitting back. You need to push time, push boundaries. Medicine also has got targets. If you haven't done a certain operation at a particular point in time, for an example, you may disadvantage the mother, you may disadvantage the baby. So it teaches you to take decisions. And when you take a decision, you stick by it. So that's a trait that you learn in medicine. Act timelessly. Commit. Once you've committed, you stick by it. The outcome, you are going to live and support that outcome, regardless of what it was. So in business, it is the same thing. Once I commit to this, that's it. I know that in some sectors you can change wheels in the air. So medicine teaches you being grounded. It's difficult to over here and there, here and there. You stick to one thing, you see it to the end. If it's not working, then you can change. So also when you leave relationships, they are usually clean. We can still meet and greet.
Yeah.
That is what medicine teaches you. If I was supposed to fix your nose and it didn't go well, I need to tell you, it didn't go the way we expected. And then we see how we deal with that.
Yeah.
Then we need to part on a clean slate. That's what I've learned from medicine. So yes, they are intertwined.
Okay. Lovely. Okay. Now you are a boss. You're a leader. You are the CEO of your firm, but you have employees now. First, describe to me how you would describe your leadership style, and then talk to me about some of the things that you felt like were a little bit, having employees is it's a different thing. You are HR now. You are all things initially, I suppose, when you start off. Take us to that journey.
So I think I was very blessed that I inherited the practice with a very reliable employee whom today I feel she's the director in the practice. And it takes a while to discover that actually I'm the CEO. I always put it in the Bundu way to say, you are the oxen, you have the yoke, you have the plow, you are also carrying a sweep. So you're just doing everything.
Yeah.
It takes a while to discover who you are. So my leadership style, it's purely about you do your work, I do my work. We all meet at the production table. So you bring what you've done, I show you what I've done. And that has helped as well to facilitate my employees to discover themselves, to bring new ideas, to implement. I don't have a rigid structure. We are all open to implementing as long as it is taking us forward. And if we see it's not working, we go back to the drawing table and we work on that. So as the practice grew, from 1 employee, we are now a practice with 4 employees. So that meant that now we need to incorporate a human resource structure so as to ease off the weight and to define offices or the organogram of the practice. That has really helped a lot in that people now have got functional roles, which they can research about, which they can advance themselves in, put in some work when it comes to enriching themselves in that portfolio of functioning. And that has really, really brought a lot of productivity in the business.
Lovely. Lovely. Employee of 4, bese lapho siyakhula, add 4 more, and then we are a franchise. Then you hire Amanda, does your PR and marketing, and then the sky is the limit.
Yeah. If you can look up, that's where the limit is.
Amazing stuff. Okay. A lot of what you do comes with a lot of education element as well, right? Where your patients that come in sometimes they know that something is wrong, but they don't have the know-how. And sometimes they don't even know that they can reach out and seek out information and ask questions, right? What are some of the things that you feel like you've had to incorporate in your journey to sort of bring the patient along the journey with you, education-wise?
Okay, that for me, first of all, it starts off from building their relationship with the patient. In medicine, we are told that the patient has all the answers for you.
Okay.
So the more time you spend allowing them to talk, it helps you to know exactly what is happening. Oftentimes, from just listening before you touch, you can already have an idea of what is happening. So that's number 1 for me. And then secondly, I encourage my patient to Google. Most of my colleagues don't like Google.
Because it
But
tells us we're gonna die.
I feel like the more you know you're gonna die, then it's easier for me. I'm gonna pull you from that edge. But it makes the patient come to you already with lateral thinking. That this is what then mine is easier. I just prune a few things, align a few things, and then we come up with what do we think is gonna be good for us. And then the third aspect, apart from Google, I encourage them to go and discuss with families.
Okay.
Yes. So after we have spoken, we have maybe come up with the diagnosis, maybe what needs to be done. I send them home. Go home. Yeah, but doctor, I want this done today. I can't. Like, no, we are Africans. Go home and report. This is what has been found. This is what needs to be done. And amazingly, they always come back and say, that was the best thing I've done because I've heard now that my aunt had something similar. This is what was done. My grandma had something similar. This is what was done. So in that way, we get to also have the untold African stories that my mother had no womb for all the time that I've known her, or that my mother died whilst giving birth. And that is why I'm also bleeding this much. So it helps. And then AI is the new baby, new kid on the block.
Yeah.
See what it says. And then we discuss. I'm not scared to be challenged by my patients based on what they've read. At the end of the day, they will not take away the fact that I'm the doctor. And they've chosen me to take care of them.
You're the one with the PhD, but no, it's you. I hear you. Fact. Okay. And then, okay, let's talk about technology, right? A lot of businesses took the opportunity of COVID to upscale themselves, even if they were not looking at adding a tech element to their business. As soon as COVID hit, you didn't have a choice anyway. Talk us through some of the things that you've implemented to sort of help your technology, help introduce technology into your firm.
Okay. Although on the snail pace side, because I'm very lucky, my specialty really needs the patient to be with me.
Yeah.
I still cannot do online consultations. I feel like it's a little bit dodgy, but our booking system is purely online. We can discuss results online. We can have some conversations around maybe just questioning. We can do that, but you still need to come in for examination. And then also there, like you are saying, COVID, we needed to minimize patient touch and so on. That has helped upscale some of the microsurgical skills. So you can operate on a patient today, send the patient home same day, or send the patient home the next morning to reduce prolonged hospital stay. So that has helped a lot. So COVID really brought positive vibes.
Okay, website.
Website, not quite there
Okay.
because of, let me just say, technologically being slow. But I have seen the demand.
Okay.
People do want to know who you are, what do you do, how do you work. They want to see what do other people say about you. So yes, it is the next baby that needs to be put into place.
Yeah, especially because you already do media interviews for your media professional, on the radios, on the podcasts. So those are kind of the things that you can put onto your network and on your website and for people to be able to. Sometimes you don't have to do the speaking. You did it in the interview, so just put it there.
So I have always felt like that's a space I don't want to be in.
Which one?
But I see that it is pushing me that way, the media space. I've got invites which I have said no to. I think this is the first time I sit in a space where I can be seen out there. I'll go on radio because I know I'll sit in the background, yep and get out. Places that I've enjoyed is to be in spaces where it's women conferences, where I know I'm speaking to my brand, I'm speaking about what I know. But I see the demand. So yes,
it's calling you to do
it. It is calling, and I think the answer is yes, I'm coming.
And I'm helping you answer it.
Amen.
Love it. Okay. All right. Let's dream a little bit, right? It's a new year. I'm sure you've got plans. Got plans for the practice, things that you want to do. Give me your 5-year plan. What are we looking at? What's coming up? What's new? What are you implementing?
I'll not tell you the truth to the core because some of those things are in a serious incubation stage where if you open the oven whilst the cake is rising, it may flop for life.
Yes.
So, but big wishes is to expand the practice. I want it to be accessible in different places. Number 2, do a lot of community service, be in places where people need me. Then remotely, you spoke about 5 years, remotely, to have a women's hospital in the most desperate of places. So it's not going to be in Joburg. It's not going to be maybe where there is electricity. I need it to be in the most destitute of places where women don't even know that they are supposed to see a doctor at least once in their lifetime.
Yeah. Once in a lifetime is wild because Vele, we don't like to see a doctor. Let's talk about some of the things that you feel like you really do not want to do again on your journey so far, and things that you think, you know what, if this can happen again, I now have the tools to conquer. What are some of those things?
I will never write the exam of becoming a specialist ever again. Even if you give me $1 million, I would not.
How?
It's very tough. Not just the exam, the whole journey. Never again that way. Given a second chance, I'll see how I get to where I am today. And then I think, secondly, my never again, it's to walk slowly towards my goal. Every time I sit down, look at where I am today and how I would have easily walked, subtracted a few years, I would have done that. Yes.
Okay. And if we spoke about your 5-year plan, right, and your future, what kind of legacy do you think you'd like to leave behind? If someone says, I don't know, 100 years from now, There once was a Dr. Gugu Gamedze that walked on this earth. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
Number one, I want to leave a legacy of it is possible to be a child of God and still achieve. That's number one. Number two, every woman must have access to quality healthcare. So I want them to walk into that hospital and say, this was built by a woman for women. That's I wish to. And no woman must die while giving birth.
Yeah.
And also because diseases are incurable.
Yeah.
That's my wish. Women must live forever.
I think we're done. We can wrap this up because women
Women
live
must
forever.
live forever.
Wakanda, everything. Yes. Okay. All right. Give me 3 points that if you were to give advice to an entrepreneur who's either maybe just in the medical field and they did not know that they can venture into business, or somebody that has an idea and they just don't have the chutzpah yet to sort of get it to the next stage. What 3 things would you advise them to do?
Number one, I would say shell off your fears. Number two, do speak out. You may not say everything the way you are conceiving it, but do speak out. There is always help on the way available. Thirdly, do not be scared of navigating the challenges. They will make you a better person and you will cope better. Those are the 3 things I can say.
Okay. Knowing what you know today, would you do it any of it again? Entrepreneurial journey, zonke izinto, registering a business, everything, tax, HR, all the things that you know now.
I think my journey has been easier to put together. So knowing everything that I know now, if you want to open a business, I would just give it all to you in one day and say, start exactly like this. So yes, I'll do it all.
So it's exactly like this, Kanjan. I don't have the tools. I don't know anything. I'm just a girl.
Okay, so I would say it's about contact, Amanda. It's about contact and networking. That's why I'm saying it. Don't sit in your shell and think you are the big thing in that shell.
Yeah.
Meet people. People will help you. So if you are a Swazi girl coming from that Bundu village, thinking that you cannot do it, already there are people. Let me put it like that. As I was training, there was one prof who used to say, Gugu, you are going very far. Every time I look at you, you are going far. And I did not understand what it was because we are a big team of registrars. We are all doing the same thing. But he would say, you are going very far. Today, when I look back, the other consultants in the unit, they are referring to me. If a patient has a medical aid that needs to be where I am, they'll phone me. So now it's bread coming from above, filtering down. So it's about connections and how you conduct yourself amongst people. There's a saying that streams today are rivers tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you cannot do whatever up the stream and go down to fetch water. So relationships, 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 relationships.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Gugu Gamedze. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me.